In this video, I will analyze the TV show Cable Girls as a lesson on how to have dignity as a woman. Cable Girls is a 2017 Spanish TV show created by Ramon Campos and Gemma R. Niera. Although there are 5 seasons in the show total, this video will focus mostly on Season 1. The show is a 1920s period drama centered on the lives of 4 friends who work at a telephone company. A Google search of the word dignity defines it as a sense of pride in oneself or self-respect. In today's world, women are conditioned to give up their dignity in subtle and not so subtle ways. We are ceaselessly being molded into seeking validation. Staying rational in such insane times as a woman demands learning how to act with dignity. I will be relating the TV show Cable Girls to a book called Why Men Love Bitches by Sherry Argov. This is the pinnacle of books regarding how women can have dignity when interacting with men. Above all, it's a book about self-respect. In many ways, Cable Girls is a show that coincidentally follows the principles from the book with precision. The book has radical feminist-leaning principles. Why Men Love Bitches specifically addresses dignity within dating, and defines most men as manipulators who primarily date just to have sex. It teaches women how to navigate a dating scene full of such men in a careful, discerning, and self-controlled way. Yet the book has no shortage of applications outside of dating. Part 1. Dignity in work, competence, and financial self-sufficiency. A central theme of the show is the worth of duty and economic self-reliance, that there is honor in day-to-day labor. Even though phone operator jobs are not necessarily very glamorous or high-paying, the Cable Girls take pride in their work.
You could have worn something else instead of that.
This is what I am.
In Why Men Love Bitches, Argov writes, "Dignity and pride aren't about whether you pull money out of a drawer, a sack, or a wallet. It isn't about being given a credit card or pulling cash out of a versateller. If you have an income, however small, it enables you to live by your own rules, move to your rhythm instead of dancing to the beat of someone else's drum, decide on how you want to be treated, choose what you will or will not tolerate, and leave if you don't get what you want." This excerpt explains the necessity of having the option of earning your own money when it comes to negotiating respectful treatment from others. In Cable Girls, Carlotta is a high society woman whose affluent father prohibits her from working at the telephone company. Still, Carlotta defies her father. She dreams of financial independence, and she ultimately succeeds. Even if a woman does not have employment for any given reason, competence and intelligence as well as the ability to be financially self-sufficient will still afford her a great deal of dignity. Additionally, being able to prove to yourself that you are capable enough to achieve certain goals creates self-respect. It makes you believe that you are able to achieve future goals as well. Part 2. Not seeking the approval of others. This is the thesis of the TV show. All 4 Cable Girls possess this quality. In Why Men Love Bitches, Sherry Argov argues that women should be bitches. Rather than defining a bitch as a woman who lacks morals or is rude, she redefines a bitch as a woman who is not too nice to men at the expense of herself. And she contrasts the redefined bitch with the nice girl. She writes, "Everyone has known a nice girl. She is the woman who will overcompensate, giving everything to a man she barely knows, without him having to invest much in the relationship. She's the woman who gives blindly because she wants so much for her attentions to be reciprocated. She's the woman who goes along with what she thinks her man will like or want because she wants to keep the relationship at all costs." This quote captures the essence of what is called the pick-me girl, a more modern term for the nice girl. Argov argues that men prefer bitches to the nice girl, as men respect bitches who think for themselves over nice girls who pedestalize them. The main character of the show, Lydia, embodies the bitch mentality. She's calculated, mature, and fiercely independent. Lydia is a skilled thief that originally gets a job at the telephone company in order to steal money to pay off a debt from a police officer who's blackmailing her. While she is a thief, still, she has a strong moral compass. At the telephone company, she runs into Francisco, her long-lost childhood sweetheart. They were separated accidentally at a train station a decade ago. Francisco is now the company director, and the adopted son of the owner of the telephone company. Francisco recognizes Lydia. Although taken aback and heartbroken on the inside, Lydia keeps her composure and tells Francisco that he has mistaken her for the wrong woman, as she is still intent on completing her mission to steal money.
Alva?
I think you've mistaken me for another person. My name is Lydia Aguilar. Pleased to meet you.
So sorry, Miss Aguilar. You remind me of an old friend of mine.
It's no problem.
Francisco continues to pursue her, aware that Lydia is lying about her identity. Lydia does not reciprocate, assuming that Francisco abandoned her all those years ago.
I want to know if you're in danger.
I'm in debt. If I don't pay it, they'll send me back to prison. Or worse, that's why I opened the safe.
And when you settle this debt, maybe you could start a new life. Right here.
I haven't relied on anyone in 10 years, Francisco. This is no exception.
I didn't say I was giving you the cash. It would be a loan. You could pay it off working here. You can come back to work tomorrow.
Sorry. I'll think of a way out of this like I always have.
She values her dignity and does not show interest in a man whom she perceives to have disrespected her. Later, it is revealed that Francisco spent months searching for Lydia, found the place she was staying, and was told she was not there. Lydia is an admirable character because she conducts herself like the quote-unquote bitch that Sherry Argov describes, and that is precisely why Francisco chases her. Argov writes, "The bitch remains the person she is throughout her relationship with a man. She doesn't lose her friends. She doesn't give up her career or her hobbies. She doesn't give up all of her time or bend over backward. And unlike the nice girl, she is not too tolerant of disrespect. She also keeps her edge and has enormous self-respect. She holds the conviction that her self-worth governs her decisions because she is not afraid. Ironically, he becomes afraid to lose her." Lydia embodies this quote because she was unwilling to give up her mission or her focus at her job at the telephone company in order to please Francisco. As a result of her slight aloofness and indifference towards him, and subsequent dignified demeanor, Francisco was increasingly drawn towards Lydia. Since it has been a decade since they were separated, it is made known that Francisco is now married to a woman named Elisa.
There isn't any reason why we couldn't have a child soon. What's wrong? Francisco, I want to be a mother. You understand, don't you?
Elisa, are you sure you want that? Have you thought about whether it's a good time for us now? For the business? Most of my life has been thinking about the Cifuentes. Please don't tell me what I have to do.
It is clear that Francisco does not love her. Even so, Elisa is obsessed with him. She has mental health issues, and although the show portrays her to be an antagonist, she is deserving of sympathy. The show is flawed in representing Francisco as a good man. Based on his actions towards Elisa, and his willingness to cheat on her and use her for status, he's not a man of good character. The show has a pattern of unintentionally praising subpar male love interests. The merit of the show is not in the male characters, but in the cable girls. The cable girls are upstanding in character, and make for decent models for behavior. When Francisco pursues Lydia, Elisa senses something is off. When she finds out Francisco is cheating, she tragically attempts to take her own life. Thankfully, she survives. The show discourages self-harm, and the tragedy of Lisa encourages women to respect themselves, both mentally and physically, a key part of having dignity. Another one of the cable girls, Marga, starts seeing a man named Pablo. After some time, it is revealed that Pablo has a girlfriend. Pablo, similar to Francisco, is portrayed by the show as a protagonist, even though he is not an honorable man. Pablo's girlfriend is infatuated with him, obsessed with the prospect of marriage. She throws herself at him, chasing a non-reciprocal relationship. Pablo eventually breaks up with her to pursue Marga. Marga does not immediately accept him back because she has more self-respect, though it should be noted that it would be better if she never accepted him back in the show.
Marga, hello.
Hi.
I need to talk to you. It will just take a minute.
I'd better let you two
No,
work.
you're not going anywhere. We have nothing to talk about.
But please, Marga, there's something I have to tell you.
Bye.
There's something you should know.
You have a girlfriend.
It's you who I want to be with. Just give me a chance to explain.
Well, it's too late. I want nothing to do with you.
But Marga, please.
Lydia, how did I do?
Marga, you were great.
Good. Because my legs are shaking. Keep my head up, character, and
Yes,
self-respect.
that's right. Good.
Thank you, Lydia.
Pablo's ex-girlfriend persists in begging Pablo to marry her, even going so far as to steal Marga's engagement ring in order to manipulate the situation. Regarding dignity, It should be noted that you should never ask for something more than twice. Any more is classified as begging. Argov writes, "The man may say, 'Maybe I need a little time to think things over.' The woman who is too nice responds, 'Please don't leave me.' Not the bitch. She offers to help him pack. Why? A. She is helpful. B. He can't pack. C. She loves herself. Hint: the correct answer is C. Because she loves herself, the bitch doesn't want anyone who doesn't want her. She doesn't grab his ankles and beg for mercy. She keeps that edge. And in doing so, she prevents him from wanting to go. Her aura says she does not want him desperately enough, need him desperately enough, or let him get under her skin enough. She is driving that train, effortlessly. And it is that very ease that translates into charm. In this case, Margot would be the bitch despite being a virtuous person, and Pablo's ex-girlfriend is a nice girl despite being a dishonorable person. Based on the logic from Argov's book, it is precisely the fact that Margot isn't afraid to leave and has more dignity, which makes Pablo prefer her. The fourth cable girl, Angeles, has a story that focuses on her escape from her abusive husband. She is the highest-ranking cable girl, and her husband starts abusing her when she refuses to leave her job to become a housewife. Additionally, her husband has an affair with a woman named Carolina.
Mario is lying to you. Mario is lying, and you need to know that.
It's not the truth.
I'm telling you, he's cheating on me.
It's no wonder you don't have any friends, Lydia. Why did you tell her?
She has to open her eyes. She'd be changing her life for the wrong reasons. Because too many women give up their dreams for their husbands, and she can't be another one.
Carolina is perfectly aware of his nature, yet shamelessly chases him. Carolina is another example of a pick-me who lacks dignity, again, compromising any morals she may have for a man, a point that will be discussed further in the next section. Part 3. An unyielding ethical framework. The most important aspect of having dignity is the ability to hold firm in one's moral principles. It is not a coincidence that all the pick-me's in the show lack honor. A lack of integrity is a key part of lacking dignity. In the show, although the four friends aren't too nice or too emotional when it comes to men, they still have honor. Lydia prioritizes her morals over men. She is made aware of a new telephone technology that would take away the jobs of all the phone operators, including those of her best friends. The entirety of Season 1 is focused on how much Lydia and her best friends love their jobs at the telephone company, so this change would be severe given the context. If this took place in the modern era, it would not be honorable to steal the plans. However, this was the 1920s, so almost every woman was unfairly relegated to the low-ranking job of telephone operator. With this change, all of the women at the company would lose their jobs, while all the men would keep theirs.
This will mean the end for the operators, of my friends, them having jobs. Carlos, if you knew them, their lives, their problems, they really need this work. To them, it's everything.
It was extremely difficult for women to find employment in the early 1900s. Taking away financial independence from the female employees would, for example, make it impossible for women in abusive relationships like Angeles to have the financial ability to leave their husbands, prosecution and divorce not being legal during those times. Lydia has two choices: do nothing and keep the love of Francisco, a rich and successful man, or steal the technology plans and save the jobs of all the cable girls, but lose the love of Francisco. In the final episode, she chooses the latter, saving the job of her friends. A woman with dignity prioritizes honor over romance. She will always do what is right independent of the opinions of the man she loves. I am new to making video essays on YouTube, but I plan to make more soon and consistently. If you enjoyed this video, please consider following me on Twitch as well. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.